Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama.
Oh, my name is Priya. Oh, my name is Priya. I study in Connecticut.
Okay. You're in first year?
No, I'm sophomore, but it's my first year in America. Before that, I studied in China.
Okay. And yours?
I'm Adi. I finished my post-graduation here.
Okay. Now you want to study further here?
Yeah.
You want to do a doctorate here, I think, is it? Okay.
I'm Hanuman Das, postgraduate in Christ, going to start faculty position at University of South Carolina.
Okay.
Couple of months.
Okay. Oh, we have one more joining us.
So he's Raymond, he deals with high school students.
Okay.
So he wanted to come. He disciplines students.
Okay. Okay. So this is a topic Prabhu gave me. This is a topic he gave me, this one. Training used to solve their problems, coaching for self-reliance. Is it coming here? Is it coming? Yeah. You see, in every age group, we all have something very prominent in our life. Huh? When you are a child, you play with toys, you are busy with the teddy bear. Huh? And when you are in your teen, between 10 to 20, you naturally have different set of things to deal with in life. So I would request you all to pair up and discuss about. I'll tell you 4 things, you pick up one of those 4, okay? Dealing with parental expectations is one. Dealing with peers is the second one. Dealing with, say, procrastination is third one. And sometimes you find in Zoom or some Google, sometimes in Zoom you find somebody is doing like online bullying through letters or through some chats. Somebody secretly is bullying you. So dealing with that. So 4 issues. You pick up one and 2 of you discuss and tell me what you would do. Okay? Which one you would like to pick up? Any of you? Whoever picks up first, you get the best one, whichever you like. Otherwise it will be, yes? Procrastination, yeah. Whom do you want to discuss with?
Sarah.
Okay, you both sit together, yeah. Yeah, you can discuss. Okay, one is out, and then other one?
Dealing with parental expectations.
Yeah, you both can discuss that. Okay, parental expectations, okay. And then?
Peer.
Peer association, okay. Peer pressure, how do you deal with peer pressure? Okay, yes. And then you both will discuss about online bullying. Okay, you both discuss about that. Let us give them one more thing. Achha, we have you too. We'll give you. So, I will give both of you a task, dealing with tough nut students. Both of you. Tough nut students. Students who is difficult to discipline with.
Okay.
Yeah, you can sit there, I think, you both of you discuss. Yeah. So you both can discuss. You both can discuss about, challenge in getting placements. So if you finish the course, challenge placements. Yes, you both can discuss. Huh?
Season 6.
Right now I should start planning for the future. Okay, all of you ready? Okay, go ahead. Take 5 minutes and tell me. So you all can wrap up in 1 minute and be prepared to something. Okay? Okay, let's now take the answers. You all are ready? Almost ready? Everybody? Okay. Let's start from there. Let's do it. Yeah.
All right, we discussed some of the challenges we encounter with students, and I mentioned him that I supervise some students, and I see many suffer from what is called imposter syndrome, and which is, I think, very due to this peer pressure and expectation from. Probably it's like an ensemble of all these discussions. I see how people really are, like it's a big part of their life, and what I do to try to help to solve this problem is, try to utilize the teaching from the various literatures and wisdom, saying that, part of school is not everything. Just relax, just do your best. You're not always in control of the results and the successes in the process. So this is one little thing.
We discussed a lot, but I'm thinking about now, our students are very reactionary. They do not take a moment to kind of think about things, feel things. And so if someone says something to them that's negative, they're going to say something right back to them that's negative. There's this no mediation, whether in the mind or the heart or the soul. And so they just kind of just say mean things to one another without really just kind of thinking about it. It's also a very diverse school that has not set in, I think, in place a safe space to kind of deal with diversity in different cultures, and whereas it could be our strength, I think if we don't kind of set a place or a pace for that, it can very well become our demise.
Okay. So in essence, what I understood was, He uses some of the Vedic literature to explain to them. And don't take too much tension. You don't have to copy somebody, imitate somebody, and you be what you are. And you said that people are very reactive in their nature, and they don't take a moment to pause and think, and they act reactively. And it would be wiser if they think and respond. That was your point. Thank you. Let's take one more. Yeah, you both are ready?
Yes.
Please give the mic.
So for my case, like I think you talk about class placement, so like consistently doing well, I took it as that. For me, the difficult part was just that exhaustion of trying to keep up with things, and like you get tired of it, and burnout. That's the main thing you have to deal with, because you try for so long and you get just tired of trying that you just do the bare minimum to get through, and then that's it. You don't try any harder. You don't try to learn, and that is okay. It can let you stay at your current level, and if your level is high enough, you will stay at that current rank or compared to everyone else. But as everyone starts improving faster than you start falling behind, and that is when it's you.
So in such a situation, what do you do?
You have to like kind of bring yourself out of that, like you could say how do I say it?
That's why I give the problem to you.
Yeah. I don't think I'm the best person to explain this.
Right. But at least a thought about it. Okay, let me share some thought with you. See, in any field, 4 types of work can be done. Hard work, you all know. Huh? Then hard work. Second is smart work. Third one is teamwork. Fourth is heart work. I'll tell you what each of it is. Briefly, I'll tell you. Hard work is what you can do to your best capacity. Like the squirrel could put some small stones, and Hanuman could put big boulders. You all know about Hanuman and squirrel? While making the bridge between India and Lanka. How many of you heard about that? You heard about it, yeah. So it was Lord Ram wanted to go from India to Lanka. The bridge was being made. Hanuman was very huge and he put big stones, while the squirrel could put only small stones. That's the best capacity he did. So that's called hard work, we call it. Smart work requires creative thinking, some innovation. For example, have you heard the story of a large jar of water, but water was way below? A crow wanted to drink water. If it would go inside, it will get stuck. It can't come out. So what he did, anybody knows? Yes?
He put pebbles into the water can.
So it's considered very intelligent crow, isn't it? But greater intelligence would be, go to a fruit juice shop and get a straw and put inside. That would be considered smart work. Correct, no? So you can not only do hard work, you can also do smart work. Think of alternative ways, out-of-box thinking. Third is teamwork. I said, why? Teamwork means sometimes you work with others, you get new ideas. When you run out of ideas, you can seek ideas from your friends. If you have nice friendships, you can seek ideas from them. So, in this world, it is good to make connections with people who can help us when we are in hour of need. Correct? No? That is teamwork. Fourth is heart work. Heart work is prayer to Lord. Prayer is the difference between what you can do and what God can do. So it's like 1 plus infinity. What is 1 plus infinity? Infinity. Because when Arjuna and Krishna, then Arjuna became extremely powerful. Prabhupada plus Krishna, then Prabhupada could do humanly impossible things by praying. So you all remember these 4 things? What did I say? Hard work, smart work,
Teamwork and hard work.
put together is called best work. So, like I had given you the problem of placements or cracking an examination or placements. You can do your best. You can yourself try applying, and you can also come up with ideas. You can ask somebody, I am in this particular field, where do you think I should apply? Somebody else may give an idea also. So you can innovatively think, you can consult, you can pray to Krishna that you please help me so I give the interviews best. So, in any, one of the very first thing is we should not lose confidence. That's the very first thing. Whenever we face adversity in life, if you lose confidence, even when I'm going to an interview, if I fumble, then they may think that I don't know the subject, even if I know it. So the very first thing is you be confident in any situation. And secondly, can you change other people in the world around you? You cannot. But you can actually change your behavior, which is within your own control. Therefore, own responsibility for your actions. So therefore, we can blame the companies, we can blame the world around, we can blame the friends, we can blame the college, we can blame the teachers. None of it is going to be of any avail, any help. We should find out what best can I do in this situation. There was one boy recently I came across. This boy was going to one particular college and the professor was unhappy with his performance. So professor scolded him in the class and the boy became a little offended and he protested. Then the professor reduced marks for him in some subject. Then he went to in college, is there a place where you can petition that somebody is mistreating you or something like that? Then a group of professors, they started troubling him. He felt like that. Then he even went to Indian embassy or something like that. So then the matter became very compounded and then later on he was said you are unfit for the course. So anyway, the point is, you can see that he escalated the matter to higher and higher ups without making an effort to rectify himself. So sometimes we don't see how I can improve. We go into a proving mode. So because of that, he had to be out of the college. Now the possibility of rejoining the college is ruled out now for him. So this is the second point I was telling. First point I said, don't lose confidence, even in adversities, even in trying situations in life, even though life may throw challenges on you. That's the first thing I said. Second thing I said, that we should always think, what can I do to make situations better? Rather than point fingers to others that they are doing this, he is doing that. So they don't understand me. Because that blame game doesn't help the situation. It's not going to help. That's the second thing I said. Okay. So let us take more answers. What was the problem given to both of you? What was it?
I was just dealing with
Parental pressure? Okay. Give the mic to him. Yeah.
So we were just talking about how parents can have really high expectations because...
You can have the mic a little closer.
Oh, here. Okay, so parents have really high expectations because they've made a lot of sacrifices to give us a lot of opportunities and we have a lot of resources and yes, that is correct, but it's also important to find the balance between what they want and what you want because sometimes that does not align and if you do something that you don't want to do, you can't be the best at it unless you have the passion, you have the desire. So we were just talking about how to find that balance and it can be really difficult. It can cause like conflicts among your parents sometimes, but they have to understand, but also you have to understand that they're coming from a good place, but also they came here to give you the opportunity to do what you are able to do, what is fit within your skills and abilities.
Yeah.
So.
That's a very nice point. Because like sometimes the parents may tell you that, please focus on your SAT exams coming, study for the test. You are always watching YouTube videos, or, you are always, meddling with Instagram, you are not studying well. So then when parents say that, one of our first responses can be what? Generally, we tend to be reactive. I'll take care of my studies. Why are you coming in my way? So we may, want to reactively, slap them back with our words. So that may be very hurting to them. So whenever we have a parental expectation, we can take a moment and pause. So therefore, we need to pause. Actually, this is repeatedly said in the scriptures that whenever I want to reactively say something, the very first thing I should do is to pause for a moment. Because pausing for a moment gives you the opportunity to modify your behavior. Correct, no? Pause for a moment. Let me give an example of how somebody paused in a very difficult situation. You all have heard the story of Vasudeva and Devaki getting married. On their wedding day, something dangerous was about to happen. Anybody knows what was it? Devaki and Vasudeva got married. So who took them in a chariot? Kamsa took, correct. And when Kamsa was riding chariot, because Devaki happened to be his sister. Everything was good, so far so good. After that, what happened? Yeah?
He heard a voice from the air that he would get killed by the eighth son of Devaki.
Correct. He heard that sky, a message from the sky. Eighth child of Devaki will be the cause of your death. That was said. Huh? As soon as he heard that, what did he do? Immediately. He grabbed her hair and took his sword and was about to sever her head from the body. So that was like a death on a wedding day. Huh? Can you imagine? Such a dangerous situation. So, in that moment, if any other man was in Vasudeva's place, Vasudeva is Devaki's husband, and he's seeing that his wife is about to be, her head is about to be cut off from her body, what would a person do? See, at that time, I asked once a big group of students, 700-800 students were sitting in one assembly. I asked them, what would you do? One boy said, I'll run away, he said. I thought, really? Why will you run away? He said, I think I made a mistake in getting married to a family like that. Where even brother is killing the sister, he was telling. So, that means, is he taking ownership of the situation? No. He's escaping the responsibility. He's married to a woman, but he's not taking responsibility for her. Another boy said, how can anybody kill my newly wedded wife? I'll immediately take out my sword and I will challenge Kamsa. He said, is that a good thing to do? Is it a good idea or not a good idea?
If you're strong enough, it's a good idea.
But even if he's strong enough, all around whose men are there in that area? Whose men? So is it a good idea to take your sword and protest against king, Kamsa, where everybody around his soldiers are standing. So when I lift the sword, they all are going to lift their sword also. And Kamsa, if he just claps his hands, I will be besieged by 1,000 soldiers. And I am the only one. Is it a good idea to lift the sword? So these type of situations are called as fight or flight situations. He can't fight because all are Kamsa's men. He cannot do flight. Flight means flee away. He can't do that. If he does that, he will be called irresponsible. So damned if you do, damned if you don't. They are called fight-flight situations. So this happens in this world. Like you joined a job and say you had a very happy-go-lucky job. 3-4 years life went on for you. Suddenly the company started nosediving and they appointed an aggressive tycoon above you. And that fellow said, now you can't take your life easy. You can't take it easy now. Because now you have to work from morning 9 to night 9. Somebody comes like that. In some companies it happens like that. So you want to quit the job and run away. But will family members allow you to quit the job? They will say, such a good job, high-paying job. Please don't leave the job. Adjust for a while, they will say. If you leave the job and go away, family members will be unhappy. If you punch on the nose of your boss, the boss will throw you out of the job. Again, this is what situation? Fight or flight situation. Yeah. In the same manner, we have many of the girls here. Say you all will get married and go to another family. So here you are pampered by your mother like anything, from your childhood up to now. You have grown up like that. Now when you go to in-laws' house, your expectation would be what? Your mother-in-law should be like your mother, which may not be the case always. So, but if you return back to home with a fight, quarrel there, your parents will be unhappy. And if you fight with the mother-in-law, you can't fight. If you fight there, there will be lack of peace there. If you run away, there will be lack of peace here. That is also fight-flight situation. Is that clear to everybody? How many of you understand these situations? I am telling you situation ahead of your situation now. Right now you are too young to think about it. But eventually when marriage comes, in married life one can face fight-flight situation. In office you can find fight-flight situations. everywhere. So at that moment, Vasudev paused for a moment and he reflected deeply. What is the reflection? What will stop this fellow from killing Devaki? So then he came up with a philosophy. He told Kamsa that Yesha, Tavanuja, Bala, Kripana, Putrikopama. He said, this is your sister, my dear Kamsa. She's a woman. This is a wedding day. And she's weak. It's not proper for you to kill her. You preach to her. Be compassionate to her. Kamsa said, no. I cannot be compassionate because I am very much worried about my death, he said. Then he said, you see, a caterpillar leaves one leaf and goes to another leaf. Once it catches the next leaf, it leaves the previous leaf. Similarly, the soul leaves one body and goes to another. Even if you are killed, you will not die because soul never dies. But did that philosophy help Kamsa? No. He understood he is not listening for that also. Then Vasudev thought, what else can be done? Because in your life, if you can pause and reflect, think, then you will be able to think wisely. If you reactively act, we will act foolishly. Therefore he paused and reflected. Then he said, you see, she is not the cause of your death. Only her eighth child is cause of death. I'll give you all the children one by one. Is that all right? Then he agreed to spare her life. So, similarly, when parents are sometimes, scolding us, like she rightly said, because if you have gratitude for them, you can know well that their intention behind anger is to see me study well. When you look at that intention, then you can be peaceful. And then you can tell them, okay, come here, let us sit together and make a plan. How long can I spend with the media? How long do you expect me to study? Let us arrive at an agreement. And then whatever I agree with you, I will follow it. Finished. Then the problem ends there. Thank you, that was good. Who is the next team? You and, you both of you. Give the mic to her.
We talked about procrastination.
Yeah.
And one of us shared that when they procrastinate, they realize that it's actually something that's not important to them, and that's why they're procrastinating.
Yeah.
Some others shared that we actually procrastinate for things that are the most difficult, because they're the hardest things to do.
Yeah.
So it's like two different perspectives on the same issue. And then there's also the discussion about the circle of comfort, and that oftentimes when we have to exit that circle of comfort, then we procrastinate. But then the more we actually kind of muster the courage to exit that and accomplish things outside of it, then our confidence grows.
And the last part which you said about accomplishing the other things, how do you deal with the tough nut thing? So something which is very difficult to deal with, we always tend to postpone. Say one subject is difficult. Whenever you pick up the book, you don't like it, so you keep it aside. And you do the easier ones. Then how will you deal with the difficult ones?
Breaking it into small
Pieces.
parts,
Okay.
or asking for help from someone who already understands it
Okay.
properly.
Okay, good. So let us assume that you have been postponing. And now only 1 month is left for the examination to come. And suddenly, you feel tense, you feel body shivering, you feel tense, and you go around and see that many of your friends have already completed the subject. So in such a tense situation, what should one do? Most of the answers you gave are very good. Now you want to add anything to this? If you feel tension, there's only 1 month left.
I don't know.
The first thing is, you want to add to that? Yeah.
You start, you just do it. Once it gets that shaky feeling, you're like, okay, I have to face my fears.
So when you get the shaky feeling, oftentimes we get into overthinking. When your body is shaking, when you are worried, when you are tense, we tend to overthinking. The overthinking leads to thinking that, I won't be able to make it into this subject, I won't be able to complete it, I'm going to fail in this subject, and if I fail, what will happen? I will have to reappear in this. Will I be allowed to go to the next year, or I'll be detained, or what? And so many imaginative things. Mind just flies like a bird away. So at that moment, what should we do? In such a situation where, we are feeling tense, What did Arjuna do? He was also feeling body was trembling, Correct or not, isn't it?
He surrendered to Krishna.
Yeah. So he surrendered to Krishna, and what did he tell Krishna?
I'm your student.
Okay. He said, I'm a disciple, please instruct me what to do. Which means we can seek guidance, correct? No? We can seek guidance. The very first thing is to reflect. Because if Arjuna did not reflect, he would not have been able to speak to Krishna. What did he say? Vepatuscha sharire mero maharshascha jayate gandivam samsate hastat pakchaiva paridahyate, he said. He says, my dear Krishna, I am observing myself. That means he's a good observer. Correct, no? So we all should be a very good observer of whom? Ourselves. Yeah. He said, oh, my Gandiva is slipping from my hands, and my lips are quivering and drying up, and I'm feeling fear and tense about the outcome of the war. So this is the meaning of recognizing our situation. You recognize. Then after recognizing that, oh, I'm feeling this, chest is feeling tight and I'm feeling tense, I have not studied, this subject has been a very difficult subject for me. Now, what have I been doing now, all the while? I have been going and playing baseball, with my friends all this whole year. Or I have been wasting my time in social media. I have not been taking our time to study. So this is the only way we all, recognize our problem and then reflect on how we have wasted our time. Then after that one should think about, okay, and also we are given opportunity to practice some meditation like mantra meditation or something like that, which we have always neglected, because important things we tend to neglect in life. Okay, because the very first thing is grounding ourselves and not get shaken up by things. So the grounding happens by spiritual practices. Like when you sit in a place and breathe, take a long breath, then you chant Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So chanting the holy name, taking a long breath, keeps your mind calm, cool, collected. Then one can make a plan. Okay, right from now I am going to modify. At least I have 1 month time now. What I will do, every day I will rise half an hour early, I'll take a bath and I'll chant 1 round at least. And I will study in the early morning the difficult things. And I will also seek help from my friends who are best in that subject. Correct? Now we can make a plan like that. And then we subsequently execute. We can execute. So, most of the students, when they get tense, they cry, they get suicidal thoughts, they get fear. They go around asking others, how did you deal with this subject? And others very confidently say, I have already finished. And that even builds up their tension even more, like that. So, Arjuna surrendering to the Lord and taking help and guidance. Similarly, we also have people who can guide us. We can take shelter of the Lord by chanting the holy name. We should be able to assess our problem properly. So it's my neglect that I didn't study. And now, don't worry about the past. Look ahead. That one should do. Like Dhruva Maharaj also. You all know Dhruva Maharaj. When he was shaken up by his stepmother's harsh speech, what did he do? His body was trembling, lips were quivering, eyes were bloodshot. He was very angry. The example is given of a snake. If you trample a snake with the boots, the snake will get wild. Like that he was very upset. But then the best thing he did was, he went and revealed his position to his mother and took guidance from his mother to meet Narada, subsequently meet Lord Vishnu by chanting the holy name of Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Then he came out of the problem. Then afterwards he could, arrive at the solution very successfully. Thank you. You spoke many good things, very valuable things, he said. Thank you. Which is the other thing? For both of you, what we gave? You too. You already answered what you. What was given to both of you?
It was peer
Peer pressure, yeah. Okay. Give me an example of some peer pressure that you may get and how would you deal with it, correct? No?
I think
one thing we're talking about is with peer pressure is not knowing the bigger picture. It's only knowing what a couple people are doing. So I was giving an example for a class I was taking. I wasn't happy with how I was doing in my exams, and the couple people I had talked to were saying, oh, we're getting 90s, we're getting 100s. And so I felt like, oh, I'm the only one who's doing bad. And I had talked to another group of people a little bit later, and they were like, yeah, we ended up getting a 20 on the exam, and things like that. So I think it's knowing that we don't know the full picture. We're only knowing from a group of people. So we shouldn't compare ourselves to, they're doing this way, I'm not doing this way. Kind of do your own thing, do the best you can, and that's all.
Correct. So you do your best. So whenever we feel the peer pressure, I have a question regarding peer pressure. Sometimes you have connected with some friends whose behavior is erratic. In the long run, you see that they are proud, they are envious. Sometimes they ridicule you. They become your friends. Now, you also feel some kind of sentimental connection to them. So, due to the peer pressure, you are unable to give up their company also. Sometimes it happens right now. Now you were saying that, let them say whatever they want. I will go and look at the other students who may get 20, 30 marks, and I will not get, bogged by this. But honestly speaking, once you connect with some friends, what they speak about us becomes all important for us. Is it not true? So that becomes like all-consuming. Because whatever the world says, we don't bother about what the world says. We don't bother about the world. But what that particular friend says, correct? No, that matters. How would you deal with that? And that is why I gave the topic of peer pressure. That's why it is that peers can pierce you. How would you deal when they pierce you? One thing you said I understand. Yeah, about we can also look at others. But then you may silently go to your room and bolt the door and then cry secretly that my friend has insulted me. My best of my friends doesn't respect me, that I got poor marks. Correct? No, it can happen to us. So how would we deal with that situation? We both discussed about this? Yeah. You want to say something?
So to clarify the question is how to deal with whenever our friends may not be the best. So I would say that of course we need to first assess the situation, where they may be coming from as well, and also see other friends that you may be able who align with your goals. Because again, we all have different journeys, and making sure that we're with people who are aligning with us, because we do end up being the average of everyone around us. So
okay.
Yeah.
That's good. Yeah. So one thing is, let us take the example of Karna, for example. See, Karna got into the association of Duryodhana contextually, because of one particular situation when he was insulted in a public place, that he is the son of a charioteer. He was not respected. So at that time, Duryodhana came forward and crowned him and said, I make you the king of one particular place called Angadesh. He said. So in front of the mass of people, he could save his face. That's the instance. So because Karna, truly speaking, was not son of a charioteer. He was born along with the Pandavas. Pandavas were born later. He was the first one to be born to Kunti. But Kunti got that boon from a sage by which she invoked the presence of sun god, and then she got the child. And then she put the child in a box, and then she sent it in the river, which was later taken by a charioteer, and then he raised that child. That's the story. But when he was insulted in a public place, he was feeling very, very lost, and he thought, I am humiliated in the public, what will happen to my fame and name? At that time he was saved by Duryodhana. But later he came to know that Duryodhana was a bad guy. Connecting with him wasn't a good idea. But he had developed a deep friendship with him. Say for example, there are two countries, A and B. Somebody belongs to country A. Somehow he landed in country B as a small kid. And then in that country they raised him by giving him food, clothing, shelter, everything. But he was grown up in the place where all the terrorists were growing him up, for example. Now the B country wants to put a bomb in A country and they want him to do. So should he grow among the terrorists in B? Because he actually belongs to country A. Just because the terrorists fed him food, clothing, shelter, should he be loyal to the terrorists? What do you say? Should he be loyal? They raised him from childhood up to the teenage. Or should he go back to his country, a country, and be with them? What do you think? How many of you would say that he should go back to a country? There are about only 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 of them. Okay. How many of you say that he should close his eyes and follow the terrorists because they only gave him food, clothing, shelter? How many of you say that? Anybody? Let us know. But how many of you are not very sure what he should do? We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. So, here is where the most important point comes. In our life, we make friends with people. And we can be friends with them. But in case over a period of time you discover that they have some deadly bad habits, and which are also going to, infect us. And it is going to create a bad future for us also. So we should be concerned about that friend also, and we should be concerned about ourselves also. We want to save ourselves, we want to save them. But are we able to save them with our own limited power? Because of our so-called intimate friendship and sentimental friendship, they are not going to listen to us. And they will continue what they are doing. So there is only one way you can help them and help yourself. By connecting with good association. If Karna had left Duryodhana and gone and joined the Pandavas, the war would have stopped. Because Bhishma, Drona, Kripacharya, they were all more attracted to Pandavas. They had a soft corner for Pandavas. So Karna would have gone to Krishna's side later on, and Pandava's side. The whole war would be stopped. In this way, he would have saved himself and saved Duryodhana also. How many of you like this idea? Which I said just now. Only few of them are liking it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, 9 of them. Okay. How many of you feel that you should have continued with Duryodhana only? Just because Duryodhana raised him, gave him food, clothing, shelter and everything. How many of you feel that you should have continued? Yes? Anybody? I think you are not aware of the story, or you know it? You all know it? How many of you know this, what I am talking about? How many of you know this? You all know this? Okay. So, Vinashakale Viparita Buddhi, it is said. When Duryodhana became, completely contaminated by Shakuni's association and he was walking a destructive path, you can't afford to be friends with such a person. Because you're seeing that somebody is drowning. If you give you a hand, they will pull you also inside. If you want to save them, there is only one good thing you can do. Tie a rope to a tree and throw the rope. Because they cannot pull the tree into water. That they cannot do. And what is a tree? That's good association. You go to your senior personality and tell them, I take your shelter, you protect me, save me, and protect that person also. Protect both of us, because that person is impelling me to walk the wrong path. I want my friend to be saved, and I want myself to be saved. In aeroplane, what they say, when you take the oxygen mask, should you put it on the child or should you put it on yourself? Yeah, first yourself. If you don't put it here, you won't be able to save the child. If you don't protect yourself from bad friendships, then you won't be able to save your friend. You understand the point? So, sometimes peers whose character is erratic, you didn't know it. You connected with them, over a period of time you understood. So getting out of that bad association is not very easy unless you are spiritually grounded. If you are spiritually grounded, you will know that what is right, what is wrong, what is good, what is bad, what is beneficial, what is harmful, what to pick, what to drop. You will know it. So in this world, we all, as we grow, we come to understand life better and better. Like when I went to college, in the school days itself, I understood that some people are good, some are bad, I should be very choosy. As soon as I went to college, I saw that in the entirety of the class, at least 20% of the class was very pious. 20-25% of the people are very pious. I identified 2 fellows with whom I decided to make friendship. One was very good in studies, another one was very much into Sanskrit and always chanting Vishnu Sahasranam and everything. So this boy kept here and this boy kept here. From him I kept on, this boy inspired me to study better and better in academics. And this boy inspired me. Every day he would come up with one name of Vishnu and he will explain Lord's name and qualities. So I got both spiritual and academic support from two friends. So every one of you sitting here, you all have the opportunity to choose good friends in your life, and we have to disconnect from those friends who will drown you into bad habits. At a certain point of time, if you have identified, there are many of my friends I saw, some of their best friends taught them how to smoke or how to drink or how to take drugs, and they couldn't escape from them. Because they said, I cannot leave my friend, he's such a thick friend of mine. I will just do whatever he says. If he goes to hell, I'll go with him to hell also. They said. So in peer association, generally what happens to teens, till the age of 12, 13, you listen to parents because you are small, you are totally dependent on them. When you come to 13, 14, you go away from home to a university where you have to study, where you come across many friends. Then you even take ideas from your friends. What are you planning to do? I am planning to do this. And whatever route they take, we tend to be guided by our peers. So at that time you may not know what is right, what is wrong. Therefore when you read the spiritual literature, you get an idea, you understand that, there are certain... How do you call a habit a bad habit? Anybody? When do you call a habit as a bad habit? Somebody may say, you may say it's bad habit. I don't think so. Somebody may say that, correct? When do you call a bad habit a bad habit? Anybody? Give the mic. Where is the mic? Yeah, give it to her. And she knows it. Yeah.
I was thinking that whenever you get addicted to something and you realize that it's impacting your life negatively, like continuously, and there's no improvement, I would call that a bad habit. So like being addicted to something that like keeps damaging you.
Keeps damaging us. Yeah. So let us say, for example, somebody is addicted to studying. They're studying well and they are cracking the exams. They're getting top rank in the class and they got placed well. Everybody says it's wonderful. Or somebody is chanting the holy name and becoming very serious in spiritual life. Some friends may say, hey, don't chant so many rounds. I don't read so much spiritual literature. Don't go to the weekly programs. You're too addicted, they may say. But bad habit is the last part which you said. A bad habit is that habit which actually damages your body, damages your mind, and harms your peaceful living. For example, somebody puts a cigarette, they get lung cancer. Somebody drinks liquor, they get liver cirrhosis. Somebody goes for illicit connections, gradually one goes for multiple partners and gets sexually transmitted diseases. Somebody chews tobacco, they get ulcers in the mouth, like that. Or somebody, they call it the vape, they call it, no? It looks like, some kind of thrilling thing. But once a person gets into that, it's difficult to come out. These habits are like cobwebs in the beginning. They become like cables, eventually, difficult to come out. So, these habits are scientifically proven to be destructive habits. You can see WHO, World Health Organization, if you go and ask what about these habits, they will clearly say that these are all self-destructive habits. So, we should not go for the self-destructive habits. Not only that, if you carefully analyze these habits, for getting these things you have to spend money also. First you spend money for getting cigarette or liquor or things like that. Then subsequently, when you consume them, then you get suffering also, as I told you just now. Thirdly, you have to pay doctor's bill also. Correct, no? And fourthly, often there is a police involvement. If somebody is drinking liquor and driving car, there is accident, isn't it? Or somebody is getting into some illicit connection, there is shooting and all those things. Triangular love, there is shooting. Triangular love means one girl loved by two boys, or one boy loved by two girls. When one gets into illicit connections without proper marriage, then there is shooting and other things. Then the police involvement comes. So, and then fifth one comes a little later, after death. That is constables of Yama. Take one to hell for punishment of all this activity. So, on the other hand, think about spiritual life. Say, for example, for getting spiritual items, do you spend much money? Say, I want a bead bag to chant Hare Krishna. Is it costly? Any devotee will give you. You ask Prabhuji, Prabhuji will give you free. Correct, Prabhu? If any student wants a bead bag, will he give free?
I'm not ready to give it, but we can give, yes.
We can give, yeah. Is it any of you want Japamala, I'll give you free. Prabhu, if anybody wants Bhagavad Gita, correct? Anadesh will give one copy free. They will give happily. So getting a copy of Bhagavad Gita, getting a chanting page, it is not costly. You get it free. And after reading it, after chanting it, what is the result of that? Instead of getting suffering, you get happiness. You get well grounded, you get clarity, you become free from confusion, you get direction, you gain stability, you gain confidence, you own responsibility for your actions. All these things come by that. And instead of police coming, third one I told you, doctor coming for a sinful person, doctor's bill comes. Here who comes? Instead of doctor, you get a guru, like Prabhupada. The spiritual doctor. Doctor gives you medicine to eat, spiritual personality they give you, the Radheshyam Mahamantra is the medicine they give. And that, fourth one I told you, police and Yamadutas come, here Vishnudutas come and take you back to Godhead. Correct, no? You will see that. So consider both these things, going in these two directions. So, in peer association, if anybody is teaching me self-destructive habits, I will run away from them. No matter how good friend they may be, it's dangerous because they are themselves destroying themselves and we don't want to be destroyed along with them. We have to save them also. Save yourself first and try to save them also. So, it's a difficult thing in peer association because our minds and hearts become interwoven when we make thick friendships with people. At that time, getting clarity is difficult. That is why attending some spiritual programs gives you that clarity. You can see yourself aloof from the body. You are not the body, you are the soul. And you should know how to handle yourself in different situations. Yeah. Thank you. And which was the other group? You both of you. What was the problem I gave you?
Online bullying.
Yeah. What was the task I gave you?
Online bullying.
Okay. How do you deal with that? You discuss about it?
We did discuss. I think the kind of bullying.
And the mic.
Sorry. The kind of bullying that we are prone to is probably when we share something on social media and we get some negative feedback or someone's.
We can speak about that. Also,
yeah, that is what we have discussed that we face. We're not sure how to deal with it exactly.
You see, very honest. Yeah. Correct. Yeah. One of the things, if somebody you publish something, like I published one thing that one should not eat eggs, because eggs will hatch and poor chicken will come, and you should not kill creatures. They are like our brothers and sisters. Like that I published one video. And all the egg eaters became angry with me, Somebody said, Swamiji, it's all right, we should not eat the eggs which hatch, but there is some other egg which doesn't hatch, Ahimsak eggs, can't we eat them? Then I said, they are also impure because of the things that go into it. So I quoted scientific evidence and everything. So I have seen in my YouTube, whenever I put something, some people would speak bad words also sometimes. Bad words or rash words, they would speak. But I learned in my life one thing from Gandhi. Once Gandhi was insulted in a newspaper. One article came. His people went to him and then said, Gandhi, should we also write an article against them? Gandhi said, when you purchase a shoe, newly purchased shoe, it bites your leg, you don't bite the shoe. If you bite the shoe, then your mouth will be spoiled. Similarly, if somebody throws a bad comment on you, and then you maintain your cool head and give a very suitable, rational, reasonable answer, then the audience will applaud. They will say that yes, now this fellow who is speaking rashly, he is senseless. Here is some answer which is very properly fitting answer is given to him, they will appreciate. So, I have given many such answers to such fellows who put such kind of comments. But only thing is, the first thing we should do is, as I told you, pause and reflect. Don't reactively write. Even emails also, sometimes people write me emails, very strong emails. What I do, the night I reply a mail where I might have written something very strongly, and I don't send it immediately. I keep it in draft. And the next day, early morning, I open the same mail and see, then I polish it. I sanitize it. I say the same thing, but in a little more polite and nice manner. I add some nice words in the beginning and nice at the end, and then in between I correct them or something, and then we do that. Especially in social media platforms, we should be very careful because the whole world is watching. So if two people are yelling back and forth, they will say that that fellow is a fool, but why are you also proving to be another fool? And they would say. So we have to know how to respond. In case while our responding, somebody is repeatedly condemning us or something like that, then we should walk out of that conversation also sometimes, saying that there is some level of decency expected in presenting our opinions. Correct, no? If somebody is like, there was one fellow who was sending emails. He has one paradigm and I have another paradigm. So he is trying to push his paradigm into me, which I wouldn't accept. So because I don't accept, he becomes upset with me. And when he's upset with me, he calls some ill names and things like that. So I told him that since you have started calling ill names, then let us conclude our mail loop. And I don't find any purpose to this email loop because you are not interested in philosophy. You are more interested in name calling. And I don't come in the category of people who waste their time name calling. Bye-bye. And I entered my loop with them. And that was the end. After that, he sent, I blocked his email. Then why we should do this? Because according to Shastras, it says, if you try to confront such people repeatedly, you will develop hatred for them. And your heart will become hard. And if your heart becomes hard, you cannot chant the holy name. Instead, you block them, and then when you are chanting, you pray for them. Poor fellow, he is an illusion, and he is behaving very rashly. His behavior is inappropriate. Let me pray that he gets rectified. Krishna teaches him some good lessons so that he becomes a perfect gentleman. If you pray for somebody, that prayer benefits you and benefits them. But if you confront them rashly in the same way as they do, both the people develop hard-heartedness, because there's a saying in English, a person convinced against his will is of the same opinion still, it is said. Like, a dog's tail, put it in a pipe. After a dozen years, you remove the pipe, it will go like this. They are not going to change. Whenever I find that somebody is adamant about their opinions and paradigms, they are unwilling to change, I will not waste my time with them. I will say, yes, that's your opinion, you can keep it, but Shastra says this. This is what I have heard from the Paramparacharyas. This is my thing, and then we conclude it. We can go ahead. That was a very difficult problem which I gave you, the bullying by other people. In schools, colleges also, sometimes people may bully us, and we have to keep a distance from them. Best thing is to keep a distance. Don't connect with them because they are not having good character. Those who don't have good character. If you become passive, they will dance on your head. And when they see that you are very passive, then they want to take undue advantage of your tenderness. So instead of becoming passive, we disconnect with them. And if they repeatedly harass us, we report to the teacher or the authorities. At the same time, there are certain situations where you cannot avoid certain people. Say, for example, you are all doing a project work with 3 or 4 others. I don't know whether you all do project together or you do alone. I don't know. You all do together? Say, in the same team, there is a person who is a very aggressive person. So, there are 3 things: aggressive, assertive, passive. So, we should be which one out of the 3? Assertive. Like Narada Muni had one snake disciple. The snake came crying to him and said, ever since I became humble, the boys are pelting stones at me. So Narada said, okay, next time you go into the village, when the boys come to stone you, you hiss at them, he said. When the boys came, he did, and they ran away. So in this way, he didn't bite them and he didn't get beaten up by them. Getting beaten up by them is called passive. Biting them is called aggressive. And assertive means hissing. Is it clear to everybody? Assertive means you allow others to have their rights. You also allow yourself to have your own rights. And that is called assertive. Aggressive means you take away others' rights. And passive means you let others steal your rights. Both are bad. These are like 2 extremes of a pendulum. Is that clear to everybody? Any more problem I gave? That's all. That's all. We've completed all of you? Okay. Now I just want to show you 2-3 formula and we'll conclude in 10 minutes. Some easy to remember. Okay, you are all able to see it? Acha, it's connected. that's coming now. So can it be made little more brighter? If it is made brighter, they can see. But increase the brightness, they can see clearly. You all are able to see? See, this is a very first thing we should learn. Ground yourself, G. Huh? And then evaluate and reflect on the issue. Then move forward, okay? You remember this GEM formula? Practice breathing. Take a long breath and then chant Hare Krishna mantra and calm your mind. Ground yourself in a spiritual plane. And then what is in your control? What are your opinion? What are your options? Think about it. Evaluate. Like Arjuna, when he was in turmoil, confusion, bewilderment, what he did? Immediately prayed to Krishna. That's grounding himself. Then he thought, what are my different options? I can fight the battle or not fight the battle. Ajayatad vidmak kadaranno gariyo yad bhajaye mai divano jayeyu yane vahatvarta jijivishamaste vastita pramuke dhartarashtraha yadimam pratikaram ashastram shastrapanayah dhartarashtran rane hanyus tanme kshemataram bhavet. He says, my dear Krishna, I don't know whether to fight this battle or not fight the battle. Whether to conquer them or be conquered by them. At the end, I feel, Krishna, it is better for me to go unarmed in front of my enemies and just be killed by them in their hands, rather than me killing them and my victory tainted with their blood. They are all my cousins and uncles and, grandfathers and such people. After saying this, Arjuna loudly cried, and then he fell at the feet of Krishna and said, I am unable to decide, because on one hand my mind says I should fight because for dharma I should fight. On the other hand, my mind says I shouldn't fight because they happen to be my blood relatives. So he was in a confusion. So therefore he surrendered to Krishna. That's the first one. And the second one, he thought of different options and presented those options to Krishna. And then move forward. Make small steps and waiting for the perfect solution. Krishna gave him the perfect solution. Finally, after hearing the Gita, what he said, Karishe Vachanam, Tava, I will do your instruction. He did. Now, see what Chanakya says, one who depends solely on others' help is bound to be disappointed. You should also learn self-reliance. Now, what is self-reliance? Doesn't mean that you don't consult anybody. Self-reliance means after hearing from many people, one should be able to take one stand and take responsibility for that stand. That's called self-reliance. Like, one boy came and asked me, Prabhu, should I put money in this bank or that bank? He said, in this bank I get 24%, private bank. In the government bank I get 8%. I said, okay, I think you want more interest. Why don't you put in this 24% bank? The only problem is the bank can go bankrupt. Whereas the government bank can never go bankrupt, he said. Then I said, put all the money in government bank, he said. But they give only 8%, Prabhu. Okay, if they give only 8%, then you put in this bank, he said. No, this will go bankrupt, Prabhuji. So I said, then I said, okay, put half here, I told him. Then he said, but this half will go bankrupt, Prabhuji, what do you do? I told him, hey, do whatever you want, I am already shaven at it. I cannot split my hair anymore. I said, whatever you do, take. What should you take for that? Responsibility. Wherever you put money, you should be, don't be greedy, just put in the government bank. But if you are little greedy, be ready to forego that money. Correct, now if you are putting in this bank, I said. So, that's the whole point. Self-reliance means, not just to whimsically do whatever you want. Whatever you do, take responsibility. Krishna himself says that. Uddhared atmanatmanam atmanam avasadiyet. See, one must deliver himself with the help of his mind. In Sanskrit, this is called as swacheshta. Swacheshta means, if you take responsibility, God will also help you. God helps those who help themselves. So that's what is explained in the multiple things. Let us go to the solutions here. See, first is the STAR technique. You see, it's very easy. Situation, thought, action, result. First the situation. What happened? Let me tell you an example. See, one of the girls joined here in one of the universities in one of the cities. When she came to the university first day, she happened to be a shy girl. So she was thinking that, all the girls are forming groups and talking. But I am not able to go and connect with anybody because I don't know anybody. I am new. Many have acquaintance even before. Some 2-3 of the friends have joined the same college, but for me there is no friend, she was thinking. So that's a situation in which she felt herself. So, and what did she think? She analyzed her own thought. That will somebody come and talk to me, then I can make friends, she thought. And then nobody is coming and talking, what I should do now? Many of us can be put in such a situation when you go to a marriage or go to some occasion or something like that. Then she thought that, now as Krishna says, you take initial step, then I will help you further. So she decided that there was one musical meditation club in that college. She came to know that ISKCON is having a club where they come and do kirtan, and she knew harmonium, how to play. So she volunteered, can I play harmonium for the program? They said, most welcome. So as soon as she started playing harmonium, a lot of appreciations came in her WhatsApp, and people started connecting. And that's what happened. The action she did was, she went for every Wednesday for playing the harmonium. And then the result is, she got immediately a dozen friends from that. And then from there, she took it ahead. Some of them became close friends with her, and then she got a friend circle like that. So, this is a star technique. First, you have to analyze. Like, for example, what is the situation? She's joining the Radheshyam University and felt isolated. She's not able to connect due to cultural differences and everything. But then she thought, will anybody come to me or I should go? So she made a plan in the mind, then she connected. And then the result is, she got friends after that. So here is an example of how some change can come in your life by this star method. Because unless a change comes, imagine, for example, if she didn't take that initiative to go and do this service in that program, she would have remained alone and felt a bit lonely. Some people are a bit lonely like that. They remain on their own. So in our life, there are many things which we can do, we don't take initiative. If you take initiative, you will benefit, okay? So remember this. Who can remember the stars? S for situation. And T, thought. A, action. Action is the initiative taking. And R, result, okay? That's one formula. Another one, this 3R method, you see. Recognize, reflect, and respond, isn't it? See, I have given an example here. What to recognize? See, this fellow coping with academic stress. He feels overwhelmed and anxious. Final exams are approaching and he's feeling a tightness in the chest and racing thoughts and fear and everything. He recognizes it. First thing is to recognize our emotion. What am I going through? Recognize it. And then he's feeling stressed and scared. Okay, and then how is he reflecting? Why is this happening? I haven't made a study plan. I have been procrastinating because I am afraid of the failure and overthinking and wasting my time playing football daily. He's thinking what I should do. So I also stopped my daily japa prayer and reading the Gita this week because I felt too busy. Important things always go to the back burner, back seat. So then he reflects that two things he reflected. Lack of structure in my academics and no spiritual grounding. This has caused me stress. Because whenever we mess up with our academics, we get stress. Similarly, when we don't have any spiritual grounding, then we go by our mind. Correct, no? So he recognized it. Then how did he respond? Like Arjuna, this boy, he prayed to Krishna for clarity and he took a conscious decision. So he has made 3 plans here. One of you read it? Take the mic. From tomorrow, what he said, I will do. Where's the mic with you? We don't have mic, huh? Yeah, please read it.
I will wake up 30 minutes early, chant a few rounds of Hare Krishna to calm my mind, and then study using a realistic schedule. I will take help where needed, but not expect others to fix this for me.
This is one thing. When you go to the university campus, some students cry because they feel lonely, because when they were at home, mother, father, some nearby friends would support. But when they go to university, you are on your own. Any of you felt like that? So 1 or 2 of the girls have passed out also. They can tell us, when you went to the university, you realized that your problems you only have to solve. Anybody had experience of that? Correct? Other people at the most can give, you have not yet gone to university, he's nodding the head. You will eventually go. Who is the one who passed out already? You passed out, isn't it? So, will somebody fix the problem for you, or you will have to solve it yourself? What do you think?
You can take just like I said.
Somebody can give suggestions, but ultimately we only have to solve ourselves only, isn't it? So this is called 3R formula. What is it? Recognize, reflect, recognize emotion. What am I going through? Reflect. Why did this emotion arise in my heart? What is the problem? Reflect and respond. What will I do next time? Okay? Okay. Last one, I think there is one more. Pause, pray, proceed. This parental pressure, I gave the example, isn't it? Don't react impulsively. Pause. Put the pause button immediately. If reactive behavior is coming, put a pause button immediately, isn't it? And then pray, connect within, chant a mantra, take a breath, and then proceed with third steps. So this I already told you this example. How a boy was not studying, he was all the time surfing social media, and then parents were upset. Now he's pausing, and then he decided to cool off in his room. Now he's chanting, and then he's helping me. He's thinking, Krishna, help me to understand and act wisely. I want to do the right thing. So by praying like this, his heart softens, you see. Then he begins to see his parents' love behind the concern. So you got that problem, you explained it, correct, no? So you're telling about the parents' concern for us. When you pause, pray, and proceed. Now he's speaking, see his tone, read that, one of you take the mic. What is he telling? Instead of yelling back? Yeah, read that. Yeah, one of you read that? Yeah. Instead of yelling, proceed.
Saying, Mom, Dad, I understand you care about me. I'll set time limits on YouTube and focus more on prep. Can we plan study breaks together?
Yeah, so like that. And parents are pleasantly surprised how the fellow has become so mature. Suddenly. Because he applied the PPP method. Pause. What is the second one? Pause. Pray. Yeah. Pause, pray, and proceed. Pause, pray, and proceed. Okay. So this is the whole takeaway. You see, self-control and inner spiritual connection, then there is better outcome. So we all have to practice this kind of self-control of our tongue, our mind, and senses, and also inner connection through prayer. Then outcome is better. Okay? Yeah. So this is good. This is good enough. I can take 5 minutes questions. Is it getting late for us, Prabhu? Getting late, no? I can't take any questions, I think, is it? One or two questions? Okay. Anybody want to ask anything? Yeah. Get the mic. Yeah.
Thank you, Prabhu. I had 2 questions, but I think I'll just start with one.
Okay.
So in the fight or flight situations that you described, I noticed that one of them is life and death, Vasudeva Devaki Kamsa. The other ones like the daughter-in-law, mother-in-law, parents, children, and the aggressive boss and the employee, those are more long-term situations. So in the short term, it might be easy to just put away your emotions for a minute and just try to get out of the danger. But in long-term situations, it's hard to maintain a relationship.
It's hard to maintain a relation where you have to keep that going for a prolonged period.
Yeah, if there's no effort from both sides. So do you have any tips on how we can express our emotions but in a healthy way to that person? Because maybe we can't take their aggressive behavior, and there's a responsibility on both sides, right, for both people to try to make it work. Yeah. So how do we express our emotions in a healthy way? Like you said, be assertive about our rights, but not aggressive.
Yeah. It's true that we have to express what is in our mind, otherwise they will never know. They will think everything is all right. Correct, no? Like somebody is aggressively dealing with you, and they are getting things their way. And you are not happy about it. But if you don't express to them, will they come to know? They won't come to know. So you'll have to express to them in a polite way. You are actually encroaching on my rights. I'm not happy about this. I'm sorry to say this. This time you did, it's all right, but I don't want this to repeat again. Politely, in a good language, you can tell them. But if you see them repeatedly doing it, and they don't change, because some people don't change very easily. They are what they are. Correct, no? Like you will observe, some people have a loud tone, or some people have aggressive tone, the way they speak. Now if you tell them better you be soft and polite, they will not change so easily. They will be what they are, you know. So we also can improve our spiritual status and become like more like a shock absorber, to be able to deal with different types of people. Say tomorrow you are going to be a team lead, for example, in a team where you deal with a team of 10, 12 people. So will all of them be the way you expect? They will not be. So you will have to deal with all kinds of people. You know? So we are living in a world where we have different type of psychology people. So we also have to increase our ability to cope with difficult to deal with people. So that is within your hands. That is something which you can do. For example, those who are advanced in spiritual consciousness, they have dealt with far more difficult situations than what we all face. Ambarish Maharaj, Durvasmani came to kill him, correct now? With a big demon. Ambarish Maharaj just folding palms and praying to Lord. And Prahlad Maharaj, you know, when my spiritual master was approached by one boy in the early days, 1991, you know, he said, Maharaj, I have given up chanting because my parents are upset with me for chanting, he said. Maharaj asked, are your parents piercing you with a needle? He asked. He said, no, Maharaj, how will they pierce with a needle? He said, Prahlad Maharaj's father pierced him with spears, with many of his soldiers. And Maharaj asked, are your parents throwing you from the first floor or second floor of a building? Maharaj, how will parents throw me down? He asked. Maharaj said, Prahlad Maharaj's father arranged for Prahlad to be dropped off a cliff. He said. So, basically Maharaj was telling him to understand there are devotees whose pastimes, if you read, like Prahlad Maharaj, Parikshit Maharaj, like you read Yudhishthira Maharaj, by Kunti, for example, similarly Kunti, Draupadi. So when you read these pastimes, how much resilience they had, how much inner strength they had, you know, how much they were able to be shock absorbers. Pandavas, you know, suffering after suffering they endured. And they never thought any suicidal thoughts, correct, no? So by reading this and making an effort to apply it in at least an iota of what we learned, to apply it in our life, you know, we will also become shock absorbers to be able to survive in such situations for a prolonged period of time. Because you are working in an office, say you are all sitting 5, 6 people are having the table. Somebody will always be irritable with you. You don't like the person's behavior, but you can't run away from the office. You have to be in the same room. You may want to change of department, but they may tell you that we can do it after a couple of years, not now, they may say. But what will you do those 2 years? You have to tolerate that fellow. But we can disconnect, as I told you, as much as possible.
We should try to find a balance between expressing and slowly trying to increase the window of tolerance.
No, all the three we can do. All the three. You can express to the other person and wait and watch whether they change. While they are changing or not changing, we can improve our spiritual strength and status. Why we chant Hare Krishna, why we purify our heart. One thing is we want to go back to Godhead. But at the same time, we also want to know how to live in this world. Also, how to deal with living entities. As soon as two living entities come, there are problems in this world. Interpersonal clashes can happen. So, but we have observed in Shastra also and in daily life also that chanting Hare Krishna makes a person very patient, tolerant, humble, grateful and resilient. We have seen that. And there are, like Professor Donald Tuck from Kentucky University, he says that the students whom he observed are chanting Hare Krishna, they are more realistic, they are more calm, cool, collected, they are patient and tolerant. So in this way we want to grow our inner spiritual strength that we can face. So we should do that also, and we should inform them what we are feeling also. And in case they don't change much, we should know the art of not isolating ourselves but insulating ourselves from them. What is the difference between isolating and insulating? Isolating means leaving the society and going to Himalayas. Is it possible for us? Not possible. So how to insulate yourself? Insulate means you connect with them only for official purpose. Hi, good morning, how is everything? That's all. Don't open your heart with affection to them. Because if you open your heart with affection to them, they may say something which may hurt you. But be official, like business-like in dealing. Like that Bhaktivinoda Thakur says. Alright?
Thank you.
Thank you.
I have another question, but if someone else.
Radhe. I want to ask you on if you could escape reality, as in, let's just say your life is packed with, as a school student, internships, work, research papers, application processes, and you're also getting your life together, going to the gym or socializing, making sure that your social network is also fine. And sometimes you don't want to do that. Sometimes you don't want to be connected to anything. You want to escape reality. If so, can you do that?
Is it due to overburden of too many things?
Well, I don't want to take a break. That's the thing. I don't want to like take a break for like a day or two and then go back to it. I want to like completely be disconnected to everything possible.
And what is the root cause of wanting to disconnect from everything? There should be some purpose, reason.
That's the thing. I don't have a purpose to be doing everything. So I don't want to, I just don't feel like doing everything makes sense. So I want to disconnect completely and then go back to it if I can. Can I do that?
In case you disconnect from all those things, you should have something higher to do. Say for example, somebody disconnects from home and joins army and is going to fight for the nation, in Air Force or Navy or Army or something like that. Or somebody, leaves home to become a monk and then he wants to make the whole world his family. Sky is his roof. All the Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam, the whole globe becomes his family. So he leaves a smaller family of 5-6 members and joins a larger family of 8 billion population. And then Guru becomes a father, Shastras become mother, God becomes life and soul. Then he has a higher purpose. So we should have some higher purpose when we leave the lower things. And in lower things, one of the reasons I have seen people running away from all this is because they get stressed because of too many things. Then in that case, what I tell them, write down everything that you are doing and then prioritize them. What are really important, which you feel are going to lead to your progress. So put those things in the top, and some of the items you cancel it, or some of the items you postpone it. Correct, no? You don't have to do everything right now. Then you can get some time for yourself. Then in this way, instead of doing 10 items, do 6 items. And in the 4 items which you are doing, take some time to take a break and relax. You need time for yourself also. So therefore, even for Grihasthas, we say morning for Krishna, daytime for profession, evening for the family. So there should be a balance. When you go out of balance, we get frustrated. Sometimes we feel like burnout. Therefore, we want to take out. But there is another reason why you want to pull out from all these things. If you face some inevitable failure in some area and we are criticized by our friends, then sometimes we want to escape from all these things and go to seclusion. You understand, no? So that's why I'm asking you, suddenly if somebody gets a thought of escaping from all this, there has to be some reason. That reason you can tell me?
Purpose. I don't have as a student, you go to school, you do everything because everybody's doing it with you. And your parents tell you that you're going to have a good life in the future if you get good grades. But after that, I don't think this is the path everybody should be following. I am doing well right now in school and everything because I'm taking it serious. But that doesn't mean that I have a purpose. I'm still I'm doing it with a vision.
Yeah, correct. So it's true that even many of us thought like that, like run into the school. Why are you studying? To get a job. Why do you want a job? To make money. Why do you want to make money? Just eat, drink and be merry. That's what most students will say. Because they have no any great higher goal in life. So beyond this platform, there are material welfare, there are materially selfless people who have some purpose. For example, somebody says, I want to do something for the society. Somebody is doing something for the environment. Somebody is doing something for the poor. Somebody says, I will go to the orphanages and help some children. Some people take protecting the animals as their cause. Some people want to protect the cows, like that. So there are many, many different kind of inner callings people have. They want to do something for the world. Some people want to learn Sanskrit and teach it so that the Vedas, Vedic knowledge can be propagated. They are doing that. So in this way, different people, different cause. I identified a cause. I felt that the greatest thing that I can do for the world is first liberate myself and liberate other people, which Prabhupada also says, Janma Sataka Kori Kara Para Upakara. So if you have some inner calling on any kind of such thing, that's a higher thing, you cannot leave everything and go for that instantly, because parents generally want to see that you earn a degree at least. And you do a job and make some money for some period of time. Like myself, I want to leave everything and go away at 5th standard. You know, when my father saw me, he said, hey, first you educate yourself. You know, I said I want to study and teach Bhagavad Gita. I was planning to join another organization at that time. My father said, you should grow up now, earn a degree, go to different organizations, meet Swamis and everybody, ask questions. Don't give your head to anybody without yourself learning about it. Don't follow anything blindly. My father was a very good gentleman, a very, very good friend of mine also. So I must have gone to a dozen organizations and I met many, many people, asked questions. After going everywhere, and I came to ISKCON, I loved ISKCON the most. The reason is, in ISKCON they didn't tell me, close your eyes, close your ears, close your mouth like the 3 monkeys. They didn't say that. Here they taught that engage all your senses in Lord's service. So I thought this is more easy for all the mass of people to follow. Engaging all the senses in Lord's service. Like Ambarish Maharaj engaged everything. Another thing I liked in ISKCON is, other organizations told me that you should go to Himalayas, do meditation, things like that. Or you should fast all day and eat a carrot at night and things like that, Whereas in ISKCON, I found that they said live in the heart of the city and reach out to the mass of people, distribute books, distribute holy name, Harinam Sankirtan, distribute prasadam. You should not want to go back to Godhead alone.
But do you think escaping reality is a good thing? Or do you have to stick to your duties? Or do you think you should be spiritual 100% every single day? Or can you take a break?
In spiritual life?
Yeah.
Actually, spiritual life is such a wonderful thing. It's the most normal and natural thing to do. Why will I go away from something that is natural? For example, sleeping at night is natural. Waking up in the morning and taking a bath is natural, isn't it? And then the daytime, whatever activities we do spiritual life, this is like you are 100% healthy.
Sometimes humans are selfish. So what's your take on that?
Yeah. No, those who are selfish will want to go from normal life to abnormal life. They may want to go. But after going and putting a wall around themselves, what they do is very important, because some people leave everything and go into depression also, which is not good. That's why I asked you, what's the purpose? Like some people are fed up with the world. They know that this is not the right thing to do, but they don't know what the right thing to do. They know that this is not the right thing, but they don't have any alternative. So they give up everything and remain at home, no study, no job, no activity. I just remain alone. Therefore they go and join Buddhists. They become Buddhist monks. Some people just be silent, or hear the sound of silence and things like that they speak, or hear one hand clapping and things like that. They say, So we don't want to go into nirvana or shunya, because that is not the reality. The reality is you have an existence. God is existence. There's a loving relationship. I would suggest you a very simple procedure. Don't make any abrupt decisions. You continue your studies and side by side cultivate spiritual knowledge under any teacher whom you are very comfortable with and you are very deeply inspired by. Take guidance from such a teacher. Gradually grow in your knowledge. Read Prabhupada books regularly. And then as you grow over a period of time, Lord in your heart will reveal to you what is good for you. There are very serious Grihastha devotees also in ISKCON who are working with top-notch companies. Men, women, they are working. They are as renounced as brahmacharis or sannyasis also. So therefore I told you about the purpose. But the purpose is, once you identify the spiritual purpose in your life and you get awakened to it, it's a very blissful life it is. Then you got a purpose to work for. Like last 30 years I am traveling, my life is study the Shastra and preach it to the people, reach out the message to the people, and then people apply it in their lives, and then people see a transformation of heart, and I feel great joy. Not 1, 2, thousands and thousands of students every year graduate. And we have a retreat in Pune. I'll just show you one small video of the recent, we had this thing, what do you call it? We had a retreat in Pune. Students who came to Pune, you can see this one. You're able to see all of you? The sound is not coming. Why it's muted? Yeah. Why sound is not coming? We put this sound won't come, huh? Is it?
TV from.
Yes. And TV, you have to on the sound in the TV, I think. Yeah?
TV sound. Yeah.
Full volume? You're able to observe it's from the top they have taken, from somebody's house they have taken. Sir, some 800 students have come from all over India. We have 4 such camps in a year. They come for about 1 week, 10 days. They look like ants, sir, on the top. On the top they have taken. We go in the morning every day, 7 to 7:30 we go. So we want to do this in America also. In Houston also we want to do like this. We want to have 1,000 boys come to Houston. So this is, I had this vision many years ago that we have to reach to the youths of India. Now there are 25,000 youths chanting 16 rounds. And 1 lakh youths are chanting at least some rounds, fixed rounds, maybe 4 rounds or something like that. So, and we want to increase it. In America also we want to do this. So now I have a purpose. Why am I coming to America? What am I doing? So if you have a purpose, then you can go on for eternity, not only this life. And I am ready to be born 1,000,000 times in this world and do the same work. And I'll never get tired. I have enough things to do in this lifetime, and I don't mind coming again to do the same work also. Because once you got a purpose, the purpose can be, it's like a flame. It can always make you very ecstatic at every moment. And for identifying that purpose and becoming fixed up in that purpose, you need a master in whose feet you should serve like an apprentice. Then only we will be able to strengthen that purpose. And so till then you should do your study, do your job, and take spiritual guidance, and then keep growing. And until you identify the purpose, what you wish to do. Like see our Ananteshwar Prabhu, he's an IT engineer. In Pune he worked with big IT companies. When he came to America, he got fed up with the IT company, he started making hand-churned ghee. And he also learned Ayurveda. Now he's a very special Ayurvedic doctor now. So he has a very cool life now. He can do as a doctor, and ghee also distributes to people. He wanted to do something good for the people, rather than just make money in IT company. So he got that inner calling some years ago. How many years ago, Ananteshwar Prabhu? 15 years ago, yeah. So he changed his line. So we can change the line. You will come up with it. You are a young boy now. How old are you now?
I'm 17, graduating.
17. Actually, this is the age in which everybody starts thinking about the life, what life is, and what should be our goal. By 21, 22, 23, you'll be more clear. All right? Thank you. Now I have another program, I think, after Radheshyam. Yeah. Radheshyam Prabhupada ki. Very intelligent group of devotees today, and you all participated very wonderfully. Very thoughtful answers you gave. It was thrilling for me to see that even at such a young age, you are so thoughtful. Many of the things that I have put in the formula here, that you already implemented it without even knowing this. So I appreciate your thoughtfulness, and thoughtfulness means Satoguna. Satoguna means think and act. Rajoguna means act and regret. And Tamoguna means no, don't think, don't act. Very nice. Thank you. Shri Prabhupada ki.
Jai. His Grace Radheshyam Prabhu ki.